Hey folks, it's time for yet another custom lesson. This one has been requested by christopherussaurusrex, who I know as Cryptics on Twitch. If you don't know, I do stream on Twitch, and I'd be more than happy to have you there, because I get lonely, man. So, the weapons are Odachi and fists, and both had to be purity. And then the cores are, as you can see there. So let me talk about a couple of things very briefly. So the first guardian spirit requested was Nekomata. So as you can see, I have the loadout here, Magatsu, Yamanba, and Yasha. I didn't put Ippon on twice because I don't like to reuse two of the same soul core on any given setup when there's so many options for you to mess around with other things. So I'll explain why I decided to use Yasha in a moment, but just brief rundown over the soul core stats. So because this is a feral setup, you don't need anima charge bonus twice. It really doesn't stack that much. So you don't need a rank 30 for this setup whatsoever. But if you're interested, if you want to get like more stats, I guess, go for it. What is nice is having the active skill damage, which again, I don't really prioritize. So again, I didn't even get an ethereal core. So that's pretty much it when it comes to information about Magatsu. Now, what about Yamanba? I haven't messed around with the Yamanba that much. I don't think I've done it at all in a custom lesson. This is a pretty fun soul core. And yeah, I'll show you some cool things you can do with it a bit later. When it comes to special effects, as you can see, I didn't even bother ranking it up, but it is pretty cool. Movement speed and yokai shift isn't something you usually come across, and grapple damage is always kind of nice, especially on higher difficulties, because you should be going for the grapple anyway. But yeah, all I was interested in was the yokai ability Keep Pulse, so pretty neat. And then last but not least, Yasha. So Yasha, it makes a return once again. This is a very popular core for all sorts of reasons, and it is one that I would recommend boosting up to 30, but I didn't. Anima bonus on water attack is great, and active skill key consumption is great, specifically with weapons like fists that you will be using a lot of key anyway. I have yokai ability Keep Pulse, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But you may be wondering, why did I pick Yasha? And that actually has to do more with the secondary guardian spirit Hiyokucho. So I'm using a double feral setup, so I'm very limited in what I can burst counter. So if there are things that I would be able to counter with brute, well, I can't. So I needed to find a way to kind of make up for that and still have something powerful. So Ippon was specifically requested. I ranked this up to 30 not because I'm attached to special effects, but because anima charge bonus on the gauge, especially at this rank, is super awesome. So if you can get this on any of your cores, great, but you actually don't really need it. So Ippon soul core rank, in my opinion, really doesn't matter. But this was actually the reason, Otakemaru was actually the reason why I picked Yasha. So Otakemaru, I think, alongside the Aberrant soldier, which I'll get to in a moment, Otakemaru for sure, you want to get to rank 30. Why? These lock stats are absolutely amazing. Extra anima and anima bonus confused enemy AA is superb. So you don't even need Ippon stats whatsoever. You can just max out Otakemaru and you'll be good to go. So anytime an enemy is confused, I get a ton of anima back, and if I'm using purity weapons, I want, either fire, lightning, or water at all times. Ippon gives me access to fire, at least in the dark realm, but in case I don't have that, then I have Yasha. Let me get back to Yasha, wherever she is. So Yasha, will give me water-based damage. So I have a potential to get some supreme anima bonuses, just courtesy of Otakemaru. So what you'll see me do in the gameplay showcase is that I will switch over to Hiyokucho just because I have Otakemaru equipped, and then I'll just take advantage of this bonus. But yeah, this is super powerful core, as you guys know, and so I would recommend getting this up to 30. You can see I kind of have some luxury stats on here, which are pretty cool, but truth be told, all I was really interested in was yokai ability Keep Pulse. I think at some point I had found Life Drain yokai ability hit, which I think is awesome. So I got that as well. The nullify damage yokai shift, is pretty cool. And if you can get like 3 of them, great. You basically don't take damage in yokai shift, which makes a powerful tool even more powerful, but it's really not necessary with how I play. So yeah, these two alone, max them out to 30, you're in good shape. Last but not least, Aberrant Soldier makes a return. This is probably the second soul core I would recommend getting up to rank 30, simply because these two lock stats are amazing. And I just realized I actually stacked a good amount of nullified damage yokai shift. Unintentional. As you can see, I have Amrita bonus inflict corrupted. I'm not using corruption whatsoever this time. But yeah, this is really awesome. And turning A defensive action into an anima generator is great, and anytime you kill with your yokai abilities, you get some anima back is awesome. So you really won't be that anima starved with this setup. But enough about that. Let's get into some combo-based gameplay. First thing I'll show are some combos pertaining to Yokai Shift, and before I forget, let me bust out my controller so I can show you. So Yokai Shift is remarkably powerful, so let's just get right into it. These weapons on their own are already pretty powerful. So let me just deplete some ki. This shouldn't take too long. Alright, let's go. Yeah, when you have purity, you're not really going to need to worry. So with Nekomata, I advise creating some distance. You can go in with Yamanba. And yeah, target's dead. So I'll show this combo a little more. So after I get the grapple, my advice, dodge back, throw out Nekomata. You can go in with Yamanba, but I think it actually might be better if you do this into Yasha, so you have the double elements coming into play. That'd be my recommendation. So yeah, scratch the Yamanba thing. Yamanba is good as a gap closer, but I think just your opening move, probably that works better. And you can charge in, you can use Magatsu Warrior, target will die. Straight up is gonna die. It's crazy. So you have access to confusion potentially, provided the target doesn't resist it. And then you can do a bunch of normal attacks as you see fit. Create some distance. And it can be pretty rad. Look at that. Isn't that just kind of dirty? So let's get on to Hiyokucho. Target's gonna die now. The Hiyokucho is going to be actually a massive source of damage, period. So Nekomata, not so much. They're still there. But the fact of the matter is you have stuff like this, alright? Provided you have the anima, you can confuse the target. You got a quick cancel. You can spam Ippon pretty mercilessly. It's kind of ridiculous. So let's start that again. Look at this. Pretty dirty. But yeah, playing your Otakemarus because, as you guys may know, they're quite a long animation. Don't forget to use input buffers as well. But yeah, this is a quite merciless quick setup. So let me show you one more time. Decent opener depending on your situation. Throw out Otakemaru, attack a bunch. Don't forget to dodge as much as you can. And never get hit. Alright? It's pretty powerful. So you'll have a lot of fun with the Yokai Shift stuff. But let's showcase some weapon play, and then I'll showcase weapon and soul core play. So Odachi Fist is basically going to ruin every human, because fists on their own are pretty good against humans, but Odachis are king of break. So anytime an opponent's blocking, well, they ain't gonna be able to do anything. And when you have access to tools like the Odachi flash attack, it's gonna get nutty. But yeah, that's just a sample, and I was kind of getting ahead of myself there. But unfortunately, because I'm using, actually I should show you my weapons. I am using, here you can see my Demon Horde Odachi, purity based, which is great. But I'm using fists instead of claws, so I don't have access to dagger claws. Not that it really matters when I get extra ki damage anyway. But here's just, I was getting a little ahead of myself, so I apologize. But here are a couple of things that you can do using these weapons. Alright, pretty straightforward. You can do a lot of zero ki combos. And you can always do a flash attack for some speedy play. And it can be pretty nutty. Look at that. Anytime you need a transition, you can. Pretty dirty, isn't it? Really, really dirty. Showcase a couple more things. Let's see what other ideas I can generate. Let's try Bolting Bore. And flash attack. Very nice. Okay, let's do Retrograde Flow. Oh, you actually you actually messed with me there. Don't forget, because you're using a fist purity-based weapons, anytime you get hit, you can basically just do a good old fancy on-key pulse ability with a lot of weapons. Forget that. Purity is really good for that purpose. and it can be really rad. So yeah, enemies should not really be able to put up a fight because you're gonna do so much ki damage, it's ridiculous. And keep in mind, I haven't really incorporated soul cores whatsoever. I didn't have the key to do it, but I could have. So you'll have a lot of pressure opportunities to take advantage of it. Oops. Alright, maybe like one or two things with just the weapons, then I'll go from there. Alright, here's another fun one. There you, come here. Ah. Dang it! It would have been so cool if it worked. Very nice. Alright, let me try it one more time. I know what I'm trying to do. I'll just show it to you, then I'll tell you what I did. There we go. That's what I actually was trying to do the first time. Oh! Oh, that Odachi flash attack is so clutch. Traditional moonlit snow. Pretty crazy, huh? Ah, that sucks. Let's kill this target, and then I'll start incorporating soul cores. Because I'm a little key starved, because I'm not used to using corrupted weapons. Come on. Alright, fine. Whatever, messed up opportunist. So, those are just some things you can do with the weapons. With fists, you have so many options, it's pretty crazy. But now, I haven't even included soul cores, so this is where stuff starts to get really, really nutty, alright? And as you can see, I did have some key troubles, but not like too crazy. So, courtesy of quick cores like Aberrant, we can always do Aberrant into Archer's Impact. You can even do that into the Odachi Flash. It can be pretty wild, alright? Juggles with Ippon, if you know what you're doing, it'd be pretty cool. So, let's see what I can do against yokai. So that's just like two things you can do. Here. Ippon into Groundquake can usually deplete a lot of ki. Then you can do Devastating Rush after that. Odachi Flash into Yamanba because it's super fast. Queue up other moves. Yasha. The Devastating Rush. Get that damage. Thank God for hyper armor on Moonlit Snow, am I right? Thing is nuts once you start it going. Alright, let's see some other things you can do. Oops. I like Yamanba a lot because it has such a quick response time. And so you can use it as like, instead of say Devastating Rush after a Swallow's Wing, you could use a Yamanba if you don't have the key. And then if you're familiar enough with the input buffering timing, or rather the response time, you can combo so many things. It's pretty crazy. And I haven't even touched on things like here. Let's do a defensive play. Oh, come on. I know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get hit. Rising Gale, Flash Attack, Magatsu. Go straight up into Devastating Rush, and dodge right back. Set up Retrograde Flow, or not. Isn't that dirty? It's so dirty. Alright, I'll try to use the whole package. I haven't even used Otakemaru. Otakemaru is honestly just kind of something you just throw out, and then you attack. So it can be like a reasonable time to do Beyond Infinity. You can always finish up with Ippon. Make sure you can clinch a grapple, which can always be pretty cool. Aberrant as your quick cancel core. Oh yeah, one thing I should mention, Undaunted. You can always key pulse after that. So, unlike normally with Undaunted where you kind of have to wait if you are in place or you have to dodge away, with this being purity based, if you get hit, you can always just like Flux or Flux 2. So come on, hit me. So that can be extra awesome. But yeah, Ippon will be like your main key damage dealer and it'll kick serious butt. Yeah, when you throw out Otakemaru, do the things. Prevent all the ki. Oh well, dude, you're dead. Alright, last time. See, this is kind of addictive, isn't it? Just like watching all the things die. Alright, one more time, let's go. Hey, hit me, do it. That, okay, you did hit me. You did hit me, I'm sorry. Hit me without me dying. Oh, I can't even do it right. Alright, got enough that distance. Pretty sweet. Look, I tried, guys, okay? I tried. What you got? Oh, Ippon didn't go for it. That sucks. Okay. All right. But this is not what I had in mind. What's up, dude? Oh, I messed that up. Okay, this is why I need to retire. Go, Super Snow. You know what? Close enough. Close enough, right? Any case, hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys in a bit with the gameplay showcase. What was he shaking off? I have no idea. Yep, see you guys soon enough. Alright, let's put this to the test. So this involves a purple Magara Naotaka, but the enemies I believe are Skeleton Warrior and Ubume, as you can see right here. So with Ubume, she has a tendency to dodge away basically after any hint of pressure whatsoever. So it can be very frustrating. But with things like fists, forward pressure, you're in pretty good shape. But Odachi doesn't necessarily have this luxury, so I'm actually depending on things like hyper armor and high pressure value from Odachi to do some crazy moves like Moonlit Snow. And yeah, keep her ki low, which is a lot easier courtesy of things like one, using the fist, second, using cores such as Ippon, and Purity Debuff, which is great to have on opponents. They take 50% extra damage. What does help also in general in terms of gap closing are things like Yamanba, and I have things at range such as Yasha to assist me for the moments I'm not able to really be in the thick of things. So now I've got 2 Skeleton Warriors, I showcase Otakemaru, and I get a lot of anima back because I've confused some targets. But yeah, these are pretty much basic Skeleton Warriors, so nothing really too concerning. They're not going to really pose much of a threat unless you get caught off guard by them, like this Spear Skeleton Warrior, which fortunately, I'm not caught off guard, he's caught off guard. So the next enemy in question I think I'm scouting for, I think I've done this scroll before, I think it's either a human or, oh, it's a Yamanba. So Yamanba is very similar to Ubume in that she will backdash all the time, so keeping that forward momentum going is really important. But of course, when that's not possible, I can use a bunch of my range soul core options in order to keep the pressure going and get things like confusion off. Alright, here's like that lone human opponent that's just kind of there. They never really pose a threat except for, hey, they shoot you off screen, which can be frustrating. So what is left? Let's find out. Oh great, Skeleton Archer, because you can see the archer on his back, and a red Yamanba. So I'm trying to kill the weakest link first, and then Yamanba's gonna come out. I could have bolting board her, but honestly I was a little concerned about the Skeleton Archers. But yeah, that grab almost happened, and again, Ippon has that kind of grab immunity and can kind of hop over targets, so I use that in that moment out of instinct. You'll see a lot of Ippon spam later, and dang it, I messed up that feral timing. I'm so used to being close to that target, but again, it's a little tricky because I've got other enemies to pay attention to. So here we go, inflict a good amount of ki damage, and then look at all those pressure and those gap closer moves that I'm doing. Ah, messed up the Moonlit Snow. Good old button presses. Use Yamanba on herself. Let's go for a full Moonlit Snow. Look at that. Ooh, good pressure. And here we go. Keeping that forward momentum going with fists, which is very good at, but of course it can be difficult to maintain. And it don't matter though, because target's dead. But let's get on to Purple Magara, who's going to be quite an interesting opponent. So as you may know, he is a water-based enemy, and I have Yasha, so the only real option I have for confusion is going to include Otakemaru and Ippon. But don't worry, I'll still be alright. So Magara's attack patterns are actually fairly tame compared to most other things in Nioh, but the thing is, if you're not close range or paying attention, he can actually mess you up. But here you go. Here if I'm to be honest, I think I Ippon spam a little bit in this Scroll of the Damned, but oh well. You'll just have to see how I destroy this guy. So, I messed that up. That's okay. So I need to reposition, so I'm going to do that. Things like Opportunist really help. Mess up that burst counter. I should have dodged back. It's one of the weaknesses of Feral. Sometimes you need to reposition or to make it work in your favor. Here's Magara's super deadly attack. Let's see what I decide to follow up with. Moonlit Snow. Pretty good damage output. Ippon. Ground Quake. Flash attack. Yokai Shift. Here we go. So let's see how powerful Yokai Shift is going to be. And this is again where the power plays are going to come. Hiyokucho is actually able to inflict a reasonable amount of water accumulation, which actually really surprised me. Otakemaru helps get that confusion off, and you can just see I can quite readily spam all sorts of different things non-stop, and so this can be ridiculous. Look at that, half health, Guardian Spirit once again. I inflict Saturate for the confusion. Then here's what I do. Throw out Otakemaru, switch to the other form. While it is still the same Feral form, I want to play around with Nekomata, so you can see how I am getting all that bonus damage, that bonus power, and really extending the duration of Yokai Shift by taking advantage of input buffers. And look at that, Magara only has like 20%-ish health. And so there's no real risk for me right now to lose, except just making sure I don't mess up majorly. So this is one of those attacks you gotta pay attention to. And so I realized I've really leaned hard on Yokai Shift, so I want to showcase some weapon-based play. Of course, I don't use it in that instant. I use Magatsu Warrior to do a lot of key depletion and damage in general. So yeah, now I'm going to focus a bit more on weapon-based play. Some cool things you can do to engage with Magara. A lot of his wake-up attacks are opportunities for you to do some cool, stylish things. Alright, here we go. Let's get that key down. Am I going to use Ippon? I feel like I would. No, I'm going for Beyond Infinity. So here's a Beyond Infinity. Now do I do Ippon? Yes, I do, as to finish it up. Keep the key at 0. And he is dead. Very nice. In any case, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was informative and fun, and I will see you guys next time.